Hello, and welcome back to Infinite Jeff, the project where I, Jeff, read the book Infinite Jest to you, one page at a time, one day at a time. This is page 130. Let's go. You're sick and had copped and was minus works and Darkstar had works. Every crew with heads have personal works for only ourselves that we use, except blown out old hoes like Kelly and Purple Boy there, and Man takes their money and their works, and he's the only one can give them their shots and keep Keely on this side of Dope Sick 24/7 for insensitive for her to make him more money and everything like that. There's nothing worse than a pimp, and Boston pimps are the worst there. 10 times worse than NYC pimps that are supposed to be so heartless in NYC when yours truly peddled ass in the Columbus Square for a time in my youth, like Stokely Darkstar before departing for green pastures. And we had a conversation, but we're coming down and it was getting dark and snowing for a white Xmas, and if we didn't crew before like 2200, Roy Tony's Nigers would be too drunk to keep them from beefing with us, and there'd be a beef and everything like that if we go to cop after 2200, and who needs a grief so back we redline to Harvard Square, and all the foreign students are in the bars, and we locate poor Tony smoking hash with fags back of Aubon Pond, and say, let's roll a foreign student stuck here for Xmas in the bars and cop before 2200, and so we all go to the ice before my frozen melted snow to the bow and arrow in the square with poor Tony and Lola's sister and Susan T. Cheese, and who I fucking can't stand, and got in there and made Susan T. Cheese buy beers, and we wait, and no students are leaving alone to roll, but an older type individual who anybody could see is no student but is legless on shots alone at the bar, fucking shattered, slumped over, is getting ready to depart for green pastures, and poor Tony tells Lola's sister to screw. She crews with poor Tony sometimes, but not if it's wet work, and with C's involvement, it's always wet work, and yours truly, I informed Susan T. Cheese she knew better not to screw as well, and the older individual, she departs shattered, and holding onto walls in a high-class and promising coat for the possibility of money, and turns his nose this way and that, and everything like that through the bow and arrow window. C wipes the steam off, and has a conversation with a Santa Claus ringing a big bell for the kettle, and we're like, Jesus, it's never-ending struggle to wait and cop, but after a while, finally, after stiffing the Santa Claus, we watch he picks a direction, finally, at last, up Mass Avenue towards Central Square on foot, and poor Tony beats it around the block to get up in front of him around the block on the ice in his fucking heels and feather snake around his neck, and gets him somehow. Poor Tony always knows how to over to the dumpsters alley behind Bay Bank off Sherman Street, and yours truly and C crew on the individual and roll him, and C messes up his older map to a large degree, and we leave him in no condition to eat cheese in a snowdrift of material under the dumpster, and C again wants to siphon out a vehicle on Mass Ave and set him on fire, but he has $400 on his person and then some, and a coat with a furry collar, and we really scored, and C even goes so far as to take the non-student shoes, which they don't fit, and into the dumpster they go. So back we go to the Brighton projects, but it's post 2200, and that was page 130 of just kind of this stream of consciousness junkies thoughts. That was all essentially one sentence and one paragraph, so it's like this at least for about 5 more pages, so hope you like this guy's ramblings. I am thankful that he spelled the N-word wrong, so I don't have to say it. Good night. Good night.